Welcome to Section 3 of our Patient Experience Volunteer Program presentation. Hello, my name is Roloff, and I'm a Patient Experience Leader. I will be your presenter for this section. Today, we'll explore crucial aspects every Patient Experience Volunteer should know in relation to their role. Firstly, we'll delve into relational excellence. What is it? Let's discover how you can make a meaningful impact through your role in our Patient Experience Volunteer Program. Next, we'll cover building blocks for relational excellence. They include professionalism, relational skills, communication skills, recognizing gestures and cultural variations, respecting personal space and asking questions, building trust through active listening, and speaking clearly. We'll also discuss the support systems available to you as a volunteer, key resources, and how to connect with them. Let's discover how you can make a meaningful impact through your role in our Patient Experience Volunteer Program. What do you need to know as a patient experience volunteer? What is relational excellence and what is it based on? And who is here to support you? What is relational excellence? Relational excellence is the practice of interacting with others in a way that demonstrates professionalism and exceptional relational skills. It involves effective communication by introducing self and intent, speaking clearly and slowly, and actively listening to understand others. Key aspects include recognizing and respecting gestures and cultural variations, maintaining appropriate personal space, avoiding assumptions, and building trust through empathetic engagement and thoughtful responses. This approach ensures respect and meaningful interactions across diverse situations. What is relational excellence built on? For this section, I will provide a brief description and an example of how it applies to you. Professionalism. Definition. Professionalism involves maintaining respect, ethical behavior, reliability, impartiality, and confidentiality in all interactions and tasks related to one's role. An example, a volunteer conducting a patient experience survey demonstrates professionalism by ensuring the confidentiality of patients' responses, being punctual, and maintaining impartiality when providing or when recording feedback. Relational skills. Definition. Relational skills encompass empathy, trust building, collaboration, active listening, essential for establishing positive relationships. Empathy. Understanding and sharing the feelings of one person. We would say that we would never ever fully understand, but we can listen and make a connection to giving them our full attention. Trust building. Establish confidence and reliability in a relationship. Collaboration. Working together, cooperatively toward a common goal. And active listening. Fully concentrating, responding, and remembering what is being said. An example. A volunteer shows relational skills by empathizing with patients, building trust, and active listening to their concerns and feedback. Effective communication. Definition. Effective communication involves using clear language, understanding nonverbal cues, adapting to multiple formats, and demonstrating patience to ensure messages are accurately conveyed and understood. An example, a volunteer uses plain language, is aware of nonverbal cues, provides information in various formats, and patiently allows patients enough time to express their opinion. Recognizing and respecting gestures and cultural variations. Definition. Gestures like nodding and smiling convey openness and understanding. Recognizing and respecting cultural variation in gestures, eye contact, personal space, and communication styles is essential to avoid misunderstanding. An example, a volunteer uses universal gestures to create a friendly atmosphere and adjust their approach based on potential cultural differences. Respecting personal space. Ask, do not assume. Definition. Respecting personal space involves understanding individuals' comfort levels and cultural norms regarding physical proximity. Always ask about preferences rather than assuming them. Example, a volunteer respects personal space by maintaining a respectful distance and asking patients if they are comfortable before they begin the journey. Active listening and speaking clearly. Definition: active listening requires full attention, understanding verbal and nonverbal signals, reflecting back to confirm understanding, and showing empathy. Speaking clearly ensures messages are effectively communicated and understood. Example: a volunteer demonstrates active listening by giving full attention to patients using verbal cues to show comprehension and speaking clearly at a moderate pace. Recognizing these 6 areas and develop them will create a better opportunity for you to have more solid engagement and foster safety for both you and the participant. Recognizing engagement cues, reading people effectively. Recognizing engagement cues involves identifying and interpreting nonverbal signals, body language, and verbal cues to gauge a person's level of interest, involvement, or emotional state. During a patient survey, an example would be, during a patient survey, observe if the patient is nodding or leaning forward, indicating engagement, or if they seem distracted, suggesting disengagement, and adjust your approach accordingly. Here is an example. When to approach and invite a participant in the survey, participant makes eye contact and acknowledges you, does not appear in a rush. Perhaps they're waiting or sitting in the waiting area. When not to approach and invite to participate is when the participant does not make eye contact and does not acknowledge you, almost feel like you're being ignored, rushing to and from, or looking frustrated, angry, or even upset. For this area, this script outlines 2 options based on the participant's response. The first option focuses on effective engagement, while the second addresses respectful handling of delicate situations. If we look at the very top, the first thing that we've identified, which goes back to our building blocks of relational excellence, is we identify who we are and what we're doing, our intent. You clearly indicate what the request is based on their response. If they were to say no to the survey, which is indicated on the left-hand side in pink, we would respond, that's not a problem. If you change your mind, you can access the short survey via the QR code on this paper. Offer the handout. This provides an escape or an ability for the person to leave not feeling trapped. Number 2, if they say yes, well, then we would acknowledge them and we would say, great, your answers and comments will remain confidential and will not affect your or your loved one's care. We've also given the option if you can stop any time during the survey. At the very end, we always acknowledge and we thank them for their time. Regardless if they said no, we still want to thank them for taking the moment to acknowledge us and have a quick conversation. In this next area, we're going to talk about scenarios. There will be 3 scenarios that might be a very good chance that you will experience in your patient experience or patient volunteer experience at the different locations. The value of discussing scenarios is talking through the next few scenarios is crucial for preparing patient experience volunteers to navigate real-world challenges effectively. By reviewing these scenarios, volunteers gain a clear understanding of how to adapt their approach in various situations, ensuring they can assist all participants effectively. The value is, number 1, enhanced preparedness. Patient experience volunteers become familiar with different situations and appropriate responses, boosting their confidence and their readiness. Number 2, improved communication. Scenarios help volunteers learn how to use tools like translated surveys or Google Translate to bridge language gaps, ensuring clear and effective communication. And thirdly, better participant experience. By handling scenarios thoughtfully, volunteers can ensure all patients feel understood and valued, leading to a more accurate and complete feedback. There will be 3 scenarios. Scenario number 1, language barrier. Scenario is the volunteer approaches someone who doesn't understand English very well. The situation is they will need to utilize translated paper surveys or tools like Google Translate. The ideal action would be, in response, The volunteer notices the language barrier and switches to the appropriate translated paper survey or offers assistance using Google Translate on the iPad. They ensure the respondent understands the questions and is able to provide their feedback comfortably. By recognizing and addressing language barriers with empathy and practical solutions like the translated surveys or technology, volunteers ensure that all individuals can comfortably share their experiences. This strengthens our commitment to inclusive and effective patient care. Number 2, upset patient. The scenario is a volunteer encounters an irritated patient who wants to complain about their care. The situation: the patient is upset and demands to express their dissatisfaction. The ideal action would be, if the situation escalates, thank them for their time and direct them to speak with their direct care provider or manager at the site, who may recommend connecting with appropriate channels, such as the patient care quality office. The volunteer prioritizes their safety by maintaining a respectful distance and leaves the situation. When faced with an upset patient, our volunteers prioritize safety and respect by calmly directing the patient to their care provider or manager and maintaining respectful distance. We uphold our commitment to patient-centered care and support. If the situation is more urgent or requires additional resources, the manager can provide contact information to services within a hospital setting that can further support, such as patient care quality office. Scenario number 3, hard of hearing. Scenario: the volunteer approaches someone who's hard of hearing. Situation: the respondent has difficulty hearing. The ideal action is, the volunteer notices the hearing challenge and adapts their communication approach. They may speak slowly and clearly, use written communication if necessary, or provide visual cues to aid understanding. Recognize and adapt. Volunteers should be observant and recognize if a respondent has difficulty hearing. Adapt communication methods accordingly. Speak clearly. Use a clear, slow-speaking pace to enhance understanding. Written communication: if needed, switch to written communication to ensure the respondent comprehends the information. Visual cues: employ visual aids or gestures to support verbal communication, making it easier for the respondent to follow the situation. Be patient and show empathy. Approach the situation with patience and empathy, ensuring the respondent feels comfortable and respected. Please always remember, because someone is hard of hearing doesn't mean they have no hearing. Please adapt accordingly. How can you support the participant in completing the survey? Offer options how they can participate. To complete the survey on the spot, offer the iPad online survey or paper survey. To complete survey later, offer QR code to access online survey or paper survey. Offer to input their feedback into the online survey. Answer any of the participants' questions or concerns by referencing frequently asked questions, which will be in your resource binder. Support in multiple languages using the 6 translated paper survey or use of the Google Lens Translate via your iPad. How can you connect with us? You will connect with volunteer resources when sick, absence, or to schedule your shift for Richmond Hospital, VGH, or LGH, names below. In relation to patient experience, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, please feel free to reach out at Richmond Hospital, Vancouver General Hospital, or Lionsgate Hospital to the name on the bottom row. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, practicing professionalism, enhancing relational skills, mastering effective communication, understanding universal gestures, respect cultural variations, personal space, and active listening can greatly enrich your interactions. Thank you for offering to support our initiative.